everybody, and welcome. It is I, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seeby. And happy Wednesday, guys. And Wednesday is our Picture This class. It's when I give you an image, a photograph. Sometimes it's a painting. Sometimes it's a digital image. And your job is to write a chorus based on whatever the image is that is given to you. I love this. I love this class. I love that the possibilities in every person that you give one picture to, you get a million different songs. If I gave a million people this photograph or whatever photograph, and you give it to them, and they stare at it and concentrate and focus on it, you're going to get a million different viewpoints based on that picture. You might get some similar story ideas based on, whatever the image is. But I think for the most part, if you gave 1,000 songwriters this picture, you'd get 1,000 different songs based on the image, And I love doing this exercise, and it just always fills my head with so much creative words. Images are so strong sometimes that, when there's no words attached to an image, it's just a stark image. And your job is to just find the story in it. Usually the pictures I pick are story-filled to me. They look like they're already a story without a story attached to them. They're very explicit as far as what they're about. To me, they are. I mean, not to everyone. Everyone has a different... Like I said, there's a million people that love vanilla ice cream, and there's a million people that love Rocky Road. And you're never going to... If you have to explain vanilla to somebody, it's not their flavor. So they either get it or they don't. You know what I mean? It's very cut and dry that way. So, this is one of those... this is one of those like Rorschach tests almost, like everyone's going to see something different in that, in the picture and see a different story, even if it is direct, you're going to find something different in the visual, and we used to do this back, in the studio when we were doing songwriting in the building, and which we're back to doing now, which is really fun and exciting. And I've been doing similar things with the class, some ghostwriting and some of this with the pictures, the images, and everyone has to kind of give their take and their idea on how this works. And, the more we go back physically to the studio, the more I'll explain it to you guys who come to the studio. And I'll try to pull some thought processes out of all of you. Not everybody participates in this on YouTube, which, I really think that you guys should. It's a fun exercise. There's no wrong way to do it. Listen, whatever you see in these pictures is yours. This is your universe. You can write whatever you want here. There's no wrong way. The only rule is it's got to rhyme, because a song rhymes, and it's a chorus. So you want it to be catchy. You want to tell a story, some kind of story, and it should, when you're done, it should be something that's so cool and so easy to roll off the tongue that everybody who hears it goes, why didn't I write that? I could have wrote that. That's so simple. That's the cool thing about great songs. The simplicity is great, and it's like, every time I hear a song that I wish I had written, I get so jealous when I hear it. Because, sometimes the lyrics are something I've said before. And I'm like, I've said that expression before. Darn it, why didn't I think of writing that in a song? I have literally said that exact line that's in that song. Like an old expression or whatever. And then you kick yourself for a month going, why didn't I write that? I've said that before. Why didn't I think of that? So I think everyone has those moments, especially for songwriters. I think a lot of people get that. And like I said, it's got to rhyme. Because it's a song. Songs rhyme, okay? It's got to tell a story. And anybody who hears it should understand what you're trying to say in the song. Now, not every song makes sense, okay? Come Together is a perfect example from the Beatles. If you don't know that song, I suggest you listen to it and listen to the words. And you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about right now. Not every song makes sense. Sometimes songs, even with crazy lyrics, just sound cool. And sometimes that's what you want. You just want the end result to sound cool more than look for logic in the songwriting. But for the most part, you know, you listen to a lot of country songs, there's always a lot of storytelling in country music. Now, I'm not a big fan of country music, to be honest with you, but I do respect and I do enjoy the story that's usually in country music. Now, there's a lot of country music I do like, but that's for another day. Anyway, the way I want you to do this, and I've explained this a million times, and I'm going to explain it a million more, is when I give you this image, I haven't shown it to you yet, but when I do, I want you to stare into it, okay? Whatever device you're looking at, whether it's your computer or your phone, I want you to stare at that photograph or that image until you kind of go into a daydream, okay? And when you pull back from that daydream, I want you, when you come back to your desk and you're aware that you're sitting at a desk now and you're no longer in the picture, I want you to write everything down that was in that daydream that you saw. Everything. Like it's a little movie. I want you to go into a daydream till it's like when you pull back out, it was almost like you were in a movie, okay? Now when you're done, I want you to detail. I want you to write notes of everything that you saw in the picture. Everything that's there physically, because that might be the giveaway for what the song is about for you, okay? There's a picture of a sunset, you know? You could call it Last Sunset. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, so, or if it's just silhouettes of people, you could call it, I saw your silhouette, you know, your silhouette, you know, whatever it is. So everything physically, characteristically in the picture, I want you to write down. Things that you notice in the picture. Don't even worry about it rhyming yet. But then I want you to start looking at the picture and then starting to put a story together based on the daydream that you had and then look at it, okay? So right now, I'm going to show you the photograph. So without further ado, here is the photograph. Okay, so you saw the photograph. It's a beautiful, like I said, I was giving it away a little bit in the details. It's a beautiful sunset. There's a guy on his knees with his hands on his face, and he looks very, very upset. And there's a woman walking away from him with her arms folded. And even through her silhouette, even though you can't see her face, and the expression on her face, you can tell that she's visibly upset. Okay. And so I will give you the lyrics that I wrote for this based on this image. And I wrote a verse. I mean, I wrote a chorus. I even have a melody for it. I even have music for it. I'm not going to show you that now. That's for another day. Maybe we'll work on this when we go to the studio and we'll work on it as a group. Anyway, these are my lyrics that I wrote to this image, okay? It's called This One's Gonna Hurt. And I imagined that this is my daydream, okay? So the guy and the girl, they're a couple, they're together, but the girl has not been happy for a long time. And they get into a conversation, and she finally tells him her innermost, secret, which is she's not in love with him anymore. And so, they spent this whole day together, but, something was wrong all day with her. And finally, he said, what's wrong with you? And she said, you better sit down for this. This one's going to hurt. That's what I got out of this picture. So that's what I called it. This one's going to hurt. And it goes like this. This one's going to hurt. This one's going to make you cry. This one's going to leave a scar and make you feel like you want to die. Yeah, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to make you cry. This one's going to leave a scar and make you feel like you want to die. This one's going to hurt. This one's going to hurt. So that's what I wrote to that image. So anyway, guys, I can't wait to see what you guys write for this. I'm excited to see your ideas based on this photograph. Anyway, guys, that is all the time that we have for tonight. Again, this is your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seavey. I love you guys with all of my heart, all my fellow songwriters out there, all my people, all my creative people. Until I see you next week, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And we'll be talking soon. All right, guys, love you. Peace.